I don't know how anybody ever thought that they could turn Alf into a video game. Now, I liked the show as a kid, and I still do. But let's face it, nothing about this sitcom screams video game. Still, I guess some nitwits out there believe this show would make a good video game. And boy, were they wrong. So anyway, let's get into it. Alf, the First Adventure for the Commodore 64. Admittedly, the graphics aren't bad for the time the game came out. They're not great by any means, but what do you expect? It's a Commodore 64. The title screen looks okay. As for the game screen, yeah. Well, you play as Alf's head. Why his head? I don't know. I guess it's supposed to represent his body. Either that or somebody decapitated him and turned him into a zombie. And Willie Tanner is also a head. Nice. As for the cats, they look good. Although I don't know how you could screw up a cat. And the background graphics are adequate at best. Moving on, the controls are pretty simple. You move Alf with the directional buttons, and I have to say that the controls feel too loose and fast. I think they could have been tightened up a bit more. Along with the directional buttons, you use the control button to drop objects in the garage. And that's pretty much it for the controls. Which brings us to the gameplay. This is where the game starts to fall apart. You play as Alf, or rather Alf's head, and your mission is to gather parts for your spaceship so you can fly back to Melmac. To do this, you must go to the different boards and grab the pizzas, and to get one, you simply walk over it. Once you have a pizza, you have to go get a cat, but you have a limited amount of time to get the cat before the pizza is eaten up. If Alf eats the pizza before he gets a cat, he has to go find another pizza. But if you get a cat before the pizza is eaten up, you drop it off at the garage on the first screen. Then you do it all over again until all the cats are in the garage. After that, you have to get 2 parts for the spaceship and bring each one to the garage. And finally, you have to get a key and bring that to the garage and the level is finally over. Jesus Christ! What is the fucking point of all this shit? Get the pizzas, get the cats, get the parts, get the key. It's like an even more complicated version of E.T. for the Atari 2600. And if there's one game whose gameplay you should not be copying, it's E.T. The only good thing about this stupid-ass treasure hunt is that if you lose a life, you won't lose all the stuff you already got. Well, gee, thanks for small favors. While I'm on the subject of losing Alf's lives, there's multiple ways that this can happen. Willie's head can capture you, or you can get hit by a dog catcher vehicle. In both cases, you're treated to a silly cutscene. In addition, you're given 24 hours to perform these tasks, and you can run out of time. I don't think that matters though, because most gamers will stop playing long before then. Along with losing a life, you can crash into garbage cans, which will slow you down. Overall, the gameplay is stunningly asinine. The cats and enemies are so fucking retarded that all they do is go back and forth like they're on crack. Plus, why did they have to make this mission so needlessly complicated? Why not just have Alf get the spaceship parts and that's it? But no, they had to pad the game out with extraneous tasks. If this game had been a simple side-scroller, it might have worked. So of course, that's exactly what they don't do. By the end of the first level, I became so bored that I just quit. And I don't think I missed much considering it's the same goddamn shit in the next level. As you can well imagine, the gameplay gets very boring very fast. Next comes the music, and it's irritating as all hell. Here, listen. Even if I liked the game, the music would really test my endurance. All in all, I think the real problem with Alf is that the sitcom doesn't lend itself well to a video game format. So really, they should have never made this game at all. Or if they absolutely had to, at least come up with a better idea than this. Because it just doesn't work. So in conclusion, Alf proves that some TV shows, especially sitcoms, should not be turned into games. I mean, what's next? Cheers the game? Or Home Improvement? Oh yeah, right, we all know how well that went. This is Film and Stuff signing off. Thanks for watching. Jesus Christ! What is the fucking point of all this shit?